Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ben's Basement. Have a very special episode here today. I'm with Best Center. We have a fiery episode. Hopefully, we're going to have some hot takes. It's a Sixers special. I mean, there's a lot we can talk about regarding the 76ers. I feel like there's some mixed opinions in the Sixers fan base on what we should be doing right now, where the direction we should be going. Should it be with Joel Embiid? Should we trade him? I mean, I feel like there's a lot of things that can be said. So let's just hop into our initial reactions on the season. And, I'm sure it's a lot of disappointment, but let's hear it from the enforcer.
I think McCain getting injured destroyed the season in the first place. I think the season was over the moment that Joel Embiid took the floor in Paris. The Sixers season was over. And the moment that Paul George was signed, the Sixers season was over. And Daryl Morey just threw the season away because Paul George was never the guy. He wasn't the guy last year. Everyone thought he was. He was never the guy that that Sixers fans thought that he was going to be. And I know on the podcast last year we talked about it. And we talked about Paul George as
Neither
an
of
option.
us liked PG.
And neither of us wanted the Sixers to sign him because we both said he's too old, he'd be too expensive. That's when I think the season was over. But they started horribly. Joel was not playing. Maxey was the most inefficient player in the NBA.
Yeah.
McCain was the only thing holding them together. Then McCain goes down, and Embiid comes back and looks the worst he's ever looked. And then gets hit in the face, breaks his face again, and
It's just been a roller coaster of bad
way
luck
downhill.
for Joel.
I just think next year Nurse needs to be fired. I understand that Nick Nurse is a great coach.
Is he though?
Yes, he won the finals with a mid Raptors team, a very mid.
That
Raptors
was 6 years
You have
ago.
to put
and KD tore his Achilles.
You have to put it in consideration, though. We fire Nick Nurse. Who are we hiring? Because there has to be a better candidate than Nick
There
Nurse.
probably
out there.
is.
And
Nick
I don't
is.
think there is.
Nick has not.
Nick hasn't
I
shown
liked
anything.
Nick a lot when we first signed him.
He hasn't shown anything.
If you're a great coach, you can make something out of nothing with a mid roster. And right now we have a bottom 6 record in the league, which hopefully we keep because
As
we
a
want the
Sixers
draft
fan-
pick, but still,
Call Todd Golden as a Sixers fan.
no.
Why wouldn't you?
You're not going out of college basketball. You're signing someone
Like a
Sam
Mo
Cassell
Cheeks,
type of guy.
a Mo Cheeks kind of guy.
I didn't even know he was a head coach.
He's not. I think he's an assistant.
You did make a good point with McCain because if McCain was healthy, we could be having a completely different
Yeah,
conversation.
I think we'd be in like the 6-7 seed range because Joel still would be.
McCain could have held this team together because, even if he doesn't average 25 for the season, he's probably in the low to high teens, low 20s. And that combined with Maxey maybe takes a little bit more pressure off of PG. Obviously,
PG stops
Yabu.
podcasting.
If he stopped
He did.
podcasting
He did
in the
stop.
beginning of the
Yeah,
year,
he's been
he'd
good.
be we'd be in a different
No,
spot.
I think next season we actually are looking pretty good. I think the front court of McCain and Maxey, I feel like there's a bright future there. I feel like we have a lot of depth in forward. Keep Grimes, keep Oubre. I feel like they're.
I disagree.
I don't
Really?
think you keep Oubre.
I wouldn't mind.
Oubre and
I don't
2
mind.
firsts.
I would trade Oubre
That's a
and
waste,
PG.
honestly.
I would trade Oubre
Ow.
and PG.
It's not
Because
a waste. You
you're
finish Embiid and KD's prime. If they can't win a championship, then you reset.
And if
I just
hope,
don't. I don't think that's a realistic team to win it with. Embiid
And-
can't get on the court.
No,
and
no.
KD's been injured the last few years.
You
too.
have-
if neither of your top 2 players are
Yeah,
consistent.
but then
They would be,
be
though.
healthy because you have Maxey, McCain, Yabu, Grimes,
and whoever
we
pick,
get in the draft, KD,
that'd be
Justin
an unreal
Edwards,
lineup. That'd be an unreal lineup.
and Joel.
I
That's
think-
9
I think-
players that could start for any
I think
given
if you're
NBA
going to
team.
reset, you may as well next season go for it. Reset after that once we don't win again.
But is selling the house for KD not going for it?
It is.
It is.
I feel like you need 1
Fair.
year from KD. You need 1
Yes.
year from Joel, and I think the start of the issue for this year was not Joel playing in Paris. it was the Sixers organization.
Forcing him to play.
Yeah, I mean, the reports came out that he was going to the front office telling him that his knee was not okay, and they basically said, no, you're playing. And the same thing came out with Maxey. Nurse is changing his jump shot to be able to shoot with his broken finger. Why? Like, they're just mismanaging the injuries.
Yeah. And
they knew he needed another surgery. They knew it. And they sent him out on a knee that was clearly, at best, 75% healthy.
Not even close to 70. He can't even walk up and down the court.
They thought that him playing through would somehow heal the injury. I think that's the stupidest thing I've heard, especially when you have a guy like Joel who you know isn't that healthy to begin with. I think it's just ridiculous. Kawhi has a degenerative knee problem. Like, he can't just go out and play. It gets worse the more he plays. That's probably where Joel is at this point because he's had so many surgeries that just haven't worked.
I think Daryl Morey has been awful as a GM. Because think, Daryl's first year, his big thing was trading Simmons for Harden because he loved Harden, which is fine. Harden came in and was great. Did I think we shipped off too much? Yes, but we won't get into that.
What else did we ship off?
We shipped off
Seth? Like, Seth isn't in the league now.
And Drummond, who we got back.
Drum was...
We shipped off multiple picks.
I'm mad that we got
shipped off
Drummond
multiple
back.
picks. Daryl's ego gets in the way. He listens to people talk way too much. Harden says one bad comment, he's gone. The Sixers fans begging for him to make a move. He brings in a 35-year-old PG. His ego.
I think Harden made it clear that he was not playing for Daryl because he offered him. He basically said, if you take this pay cut, I'll give you a long-term deal, and Daryl lied. Yeah. Do I have a problem with that? No. I think James was just overreacting. No one wants to give a 35-year-old Harden a max deal.
The Clippers did.
I think that was a mistake.
I mean, if they had a good team, it'd be different.
He has looked good.
He's looked very good.
He did drop a 50 bomb the other
day.
day.
He did have 50.
I feel like with PG, that's just... His signings haven't been good. I will say that.
His deadlines haven't been good.
His deadlines haven't been good.
His deadlines have been...
In terms of making big moves,
Dave Dombrowski level deadlines. This deadline was by far his best deadline.
I think he makes small... Like, I love the Grimes.
Yes, Grimes trade was
that's
great.
Not a needle
He's been
mover.
unreal.
Grimes? Oh, yeah. The Grimes trade, what was the other trade we made?
Jared Butler. I think
Jared Butler.
Or Gerard, whatever his name is.
Played. I mean, he played
well. He's been pretty decent.
Oh, the Lonnie Walker sign.
No, that was terrible.
Lonnie hit 5 threes last night.
We're one of the worst teams in the league. Like,
no, I don't mind Lonnie at all. Lonnie could be
I think
good.
If you're trying
Lonnie
to win,
could play the Kyle
option.
Lowry role next year easily.
But if you just look at our guard, like our guard room, we have Maxey, McCain, Grimes, Butler,
and a draft pick too.
And EG was elite. Before EG had a season-ending wrist injury, that's another thing. Eric Gordon goes down with a wrist injury. They say, "Oh, 1 or 2 weeks he'll be back." Then you don't hear about it.
See that.
You don't hear about it until a month later, and they say, "Oh, we have no idea how to fix it. He's out for the year."
That somehow happens to every injured Sixer.
Injured Sixer, they don't know how to fix it.
You need to get
How
a
are
new
the team doctors this?
Maybe that's the key to the offseason. Get a new medical staff.
I do think, though, just overall, the Sixers, it's very weird because I feel like this season they're winning more games with the ragtag bunch of young guys than when they have their full team, which is very odd to me. It's almost like the young guys...
Because guys are playing for money. I mean, Justin Edwards played his way into an NBA contract, and I can see Justin Edwards being a piece of this Sixers team.
Yeah, Yabu potentially earned himself.
What I will say is Daryl Morey knows how to find talent and how to scout talent.
That's what I like about Daryl.
Our last drafts, I mean, Jaden Springer we traded. McCain was
the best pick of the draft. Maxey was probably the best value pick of the draft.
The two of them.
Oh, and then we picked David Roddy, didn't we?
No.
Yeah, we did. We traded him.
And then we traded him on draft night. He was like our 26th pick.
Yeah. I think Daryl's second round drafting and his undrafted free agents is probably his strong suit.
And that's the biggest part. I think we're highly underestimating, because we haven't talked about it yet, the draft. Because who we get in this draft can either make us into a championship contending team for the next 5 to 10 years, or set us back another 5 to 10 years.
It's not who we get; it's if we get the pick.
I think.
I mean, no. I think there's 3 to 4 guys that can.
Now let's go back to the draft. Ben can't put that much.
I can't
insight in because
I think
you don't watch college.
What
basketball.
I will say though is, I believe you guys that there are a top 3 to 4, but if we don't get the pick, it puts us in a much worse situation than if we get 6. Like, if we get 6, I'm fine with that. Obviously, I would love to get Cooper Flagg, which we just rule Maxey out, and then we don't win another game the rest of the year. We could get him. But I think
Just to win the lottery.
we're in purgatory if we don't get this pick.
I think
don't like
VJ
VJ
Edgecombe, Ace Bailey, Dylan
too
Harper,
close,
or
you're too
Cooper Flagg
No,
are all
I don't
are all good.
want VJ. He's
Why?
He's too small.
He's 6'6".
We don't need another guard.
Wasn't he playing on the Bahamas
Yeah, I mean,
Olympic team?
Yes.
Anyone who's able to play
he's
at
a
that
6'6"
level. And
athletic forward that's gonna dunk. His jumper's developing. He's a freak on defense, and he's a freak athlete. So he's gonna run around, make plays.
Here's what I think this is.
He's a glorified, improved.
I'd
Kelly
rather
Oubre,
Kasparov
way improved
than
Kelly
VJ.
Oubre.
I'd rather
He is
Kasparov
bad.
than VJ.
He's really
Stop
bad.
it.
I went to a
Stop.
game.
I know
He
you
shot
do.
2 for 17.
You went to the game against the best defensive team in the country.
He's brutal. If we get him, he might never start as a Sixer.
No.
He might not start once.
So looking at
his
this
entire
mock
career.
draft, we're not going to get one. There's no chance we get one.
there is a chance though, because
I mean, yeah.
if I think the smart thing for Daryl to do here
Sit next.
would be Maxey, we're gonna rule you out because of your thumb, and then it's not gonna look like tanking, but then we lose 13 of the last 15, and that puts us with 25 wins. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be like the ideal situation. And then if we get in the top 3 range,
Seven is
anything
disgusting.
can really
Taking
happen.
anyone in-
No, what I'll say is, if I'm the Sixers and you get this lottery, you take one of 4 players. VJ's my 5. I mean, Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, obviously. Ace Bailey, and Trey Johnson. Trey Johnson is
fair.
so good. I love Trey Johnson's game. The problem is, these guys that you see from 7 to 10, like Khan is not going that high.
Those people, though, we're not going to be in.
Asa
like,
Newell, I wouldn't mind
Yeah, no, I
picking
agree with
Asa
that.
Newell. He
Asa's
can't
good.
shoot at all. He's a good interior defender.
And he has a refined paint game.
Yes, he's very good in the paint, but he'd be like Ben Simmons.
I think
Yeah.
if we don't get this lottery, we need to move.
Well,
we need to
geez,
make a move to get a first round pick. Your
Nice.
boy from St. Joe's. If we get a late,
That's
first,
what I'm saying.
If we get if we
Rasheed
pick up
Fleming.
if
Yeah.
we
Where is he
trade
projected in this one?
Kelly and
23.
a future first, and we can pick up
I hate him.
a late first this year, that'd be huge.
No, what I said is, if you get this pick, and you get, honestly, if you can get a late first and this pick this year, I think you get the best player available on the board, top 6.
I don't think we're getting 2. I don't think.
No, I don't think
Daryl-
we're getting. Yeah, but I think if we can get a late first.
Oh, if we can, you do
if
it.
we
Absolutely.
can if you can like trade Kelly for a late first or like
Kelly and a future
Barry
first.
or yes,
I would do that.
Kelly and either a late first or a future first. I know you don't watch college basketball. Call it Florida bias. I sent you the tape. Alex Condon would be the perfect backup to Joel Embiid,
We do need
and
a
he
backup
can
center.
he can play the 4.
I think a Dem
He
is
is
more
good.
of a.
Alex
I think a
Condon
Dem
is very
more of a
good,
4 anyways.
and he has, in my opinion, a top 3 paint game in the country, up with Janai and Asa Newell.
And Thomas Sorber.
Sorber's up there.
He really is.
I think
He's a freak.
he's a lot. Condon is a lob threat that can lock down interior and can stretch. He hit 2 threes the other night. I think he's the second best big in the draft, behind Derek Queen.
Oh,
Derek
I wouldn't
Queen is
mind
ridiculous.
him. I really wouldn't mind
He's
him.
gonna go way too early though. He'll go like 15.
That's not too early.
He'll go lottery.
I don't think that's too early for him.
No, I'm
he's
saying
saying
way
way
too
too
early
early
for
for
the
us to be
Sixers
able
to
to
get.
take.
Oh,
Yeah. You can't take him top 6. He's not.
I think you could take him like top 12, top 10.
If the Sixers had their pick and were at like 9 or 10, I would be perfectly fine with it because you're gonna get a very good player that matches the system. Being in that top 6 is a lot of pressure. You pick the wrong guy in the top 6, they're gonna stand out. Like,
is there a top like?
Yes, there is a top 6.
I'm saying.
Yeah, but I think there's one mistake.
I was gonna say, is there a top? Is there a player we could take
to-
in the top 6 that would be a horrendous fail in 2 years?
Kaspas could be a fail. If you take Khan is going to be a fail.
That would be such a reach. I
Khan would be a reach. Kaman would be a reach.
I think Khan would just be like Grayson Allen.
Yeah, he'd be a worse Grayson Allen.
Yeah, he'll just knock down the 3. But
Trey Johnson, Cooper Flagg, Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, VJ Edgecombe are the 5 guys that you can take and not regret it 3 years later.
because
I
even
also
if
think
VJ doesn't work,
Even if VJ doesn't work
the
out, he's
potential
still
is-
going to be.
the potential. He has potential.
He
to
has
be
a high ceiling.
top
He has a very
15
high
player in
ceiling,
the
but
league.
also the floor is where he's at right now. This would be my perfect Sixers draft. You get the 3rd overall pick. You win the lottery, get the 3rd overall pick. You get Ace Bailey.
or Dylan, whichever one's available.
Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, whichever one's available, you take one. If you take Ace Bailey, and then honestly, you want an instant impact guy out of the draft, you take Walter Clayton at the end of the 2nd round. Like why not? He'll be a 22-year-old guard that can shoot the lights out. He's not that. He's 6'3". He's the same size as McCain and Maxey, who could shoot the lights out and is one of the best, like a very good facilitator.
I just think
not horrible.
with the current Sixers lineup, we don't need another
We
guard.
don't really need, like, if you really think
You
about
need-
it, though, we don't need a lot because
We don't need any.
have
We
depth
need
at
a
wings.
4.
We have depth
and we need
at-
Joel to be healthy.
No,
Yeah.
we don't have enough depth at the wing.
No, I think
if you get
getting
Ace Bailey,
if you can get
Kelly and PG.
if you
is
can walk
not
out of that
enough.
draft with Ace Bailey and Alex Condon, you will win the draft. And when you look back and you look at teams that win the draft, obviously whoever gets Cooper Flagg is going to win the draft. But if you look back and you
that'd be
can
great
walk
if we
out,
could steal Cooper.
I think
Yeah.
it's possible.
if you could walk out of that draft with Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, and one of the 2, and Alex Condon, you're going to look back and you're going to win. You're going to say
It would be a turning point in the
Sixers won the draft.
Sixers organization.
What if we just
would.
sold the house?
Because then if
Trade
Embiid
Embiid.
if Embiid retires or Embiid is like not that guy next year and he's healthy and you trade him for whatever you can get for him, I honestly wouldn't mind you don't even have to get a big back. Get like a 4 back, like get something back cause
I think it's hard.
You don't
for-
need
It's hard for.
I don't
to
think you
trade
need
Joel.
an elite big man to
It
win a
is.
championship.
What's
Who
the
do you-
asking price?
I mean, because when he's healthy, Joel's a top 3 player in the league. But like, how would you?
I did admit it
How
last
would
night
you
that
go
Jokic
about
is better
trading
than
Joel?
Embiid.
He is.
Jokic,
He isn't better in the head-to-head matchups.
in the head-to-head
He's
matchups,
better, though.
And prime versus prime, Joel Embiid is more skilled. He's the better basketball player, prime v prime.
Production.
But
This year may have changed my opinion on the skill-wise. The Jokic is genuinely a
if you
top
watch,
5 passer
if you watch the game last night, he was stat padding the shit out of.
He's
going to
be a top 10 player of all time.
I mean, yes,
When he retires.
yes.
He's
I agree.
He's on the way to his 4th MVP.
The
He's
fact
not
that
gonna
he's not
win
going
it,
to win the
though.
MVP
He's not
is
gonna win it.
blasphemous.
He should.
It's
Shea
blasphemous.
was minus 700 going into that game.
I
last
think
night.
it's
I-
ridiculous.
So I think it's ridiculous too,
He's
but
averaging a 30-point triple-double.
I don't understand.
he's averaging 28, 13, and 11.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't.
insane.
I don't get the.
Voter fatigue.
Shea is good, but
Shay's not good.
it's not compared to Jokic.
No.
Like it's not a
Jokic
conversation.
is having one of the
Best seasons of all time.
statistical seasons ever.
He's shooting
You
45%
could
from
argue that
3
it's
as
the
well.
best period.
Yeah. But I'm also like that 30-20-20 last night was I watched basically that full game and it was the 3rd best game I've ever seen a single performance. Like it didn't move me.
Third best ever. What?
Behind
So
what, the
how does
Luka
that not
60
move
point?
you?
Luka
Luka 60-20, 50,
Luka
whatever.
60, 20,
And
15. Joel's 70 and 18. Were the two?
I mean, those are 2 unreal games, though. So,
But like
to say that
those
it
like
didn't move
those like shocked me. I was sitting there last night like, it's just like
So
feel
how
like-
was it the third best ever? I mean,
'Cause, I can't think of like any other games.
what about the
like that.
Joel 59, 7, 7, and 7?
That was that game
The
was
Westbrook-
crazy.
All right, so for our last topic of the day, we're on a little crunch for time here. I think we need to discuss the possibility of Joel either retiring within the next year or two or being deemed medically ineligible and having to medically retire.
I think medical retirement.
Is that a possibility?
I think medical retirement is the most logical. I don't think he retires himself.
I don't like.
Because
he obviously
I wouldn't
loves
put that.
playing basketball.
See, that's crazy.
It's
say.
ridiculous.
I think Joel.
What do you mean?
Joel gives everything to
for
this
this
city.
city.
Not at all.
Everything.
Not at all.
You think
How?
Allen Iverson gave anything to this city?
I watched-
that guy. That guy. I don't want to curse on here. That guy didn't come to practice. I don't care if he won an MVP. I don't care if he made it to the finals. Joel Embiid did more for the city than Allen.
Yeah,
Not even
Iverson.
close.
AI is
Yes,
hailed.
ridiculous.
AI
It's
is
ridiculous to say that.
It's not.
AI
Serious.
is hailed as this. Like, I'm not taking anything away from AI. Obviously, phenomenal player.
AI is
Hall
the
of
third
Famer.
greatest Sixer for me.
If you
Joel
compare
and the
resumes,
doctor.
What does AI
clear.
have? What does AI or what does Embiid have that AI doesn't? They both have an MVP. Embiid hasn't made it to the second round.
A better
Hasn't played half of the
MVP.
games.
A better
A
MVP.
better MVP.
A
Like,
scoring title.
we were
Hasn't
arguing
played
an
half
all
the AI has
defensive team.
scoring titles.
An all defensive team.
multiple. Probably.
Multiple all defensive teams. Brought his team from the
dumps.
worst
From the
team
dumps.
in
And
NBA
brought them right
history.
back down.
No,
they're
if-
not.
He didn't give
though.
us anything.
Let me ask you one question.
Moses Malone is closer to Allen Iverson than Allen Iverson is to Joel Embiid in six.
Moses
Malone's
won
an
a
all-time
chip.
legend.
Moses won a chip. I can't get behind that statement.
And you're also talking about someone from 19.
Let me just. I think when people say Joel did nothing, if you look at that draft class, I mean, pull up the draft class. Because
2016.
Joel, no, 14, 13.
I just don't think he's someone that you look at in 20 years and you're like, oh, like he's not someone you're talking about in
He's
20
the
years.
biggest
He's a
what if.
generation.
Yeah.
He's the best scorer I've
He's-
ever seen with my eyes.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
had.
something.
This draft
we
was
had,
horrible.
yeah, it's a terrible draft. If we don't
The
take
Sixers,
Joel,
the Sixers could have got out a lot better instead of taking Alfred Payton at 10.
if we
I
take
mean,
Aaron, if we take
Zach
Aaron
Levine,
Gordon,
Nurkic, oh my God.
look at where we were when we took
Shabazz
Joel.
Napier fell to 24.
If we
He's a
take
bucket.
He was unreal. He's the greatest UConn
UConn
player
legend.
ever.
No,
if we
Kemba
take
hasn't worked.
Julius
No.
Randle, if we take
Shabazz-
any of
Shabazz
those
Napier.
people at the 3 spot, the Sixers are not in the position. We're not even probably in a
In what
play.
position?
We're not. But
What
we're-
position did he put us
Imagine we took Jokic.
And
He
all-
brought us 7 years
Can
of
you
an
name the
exciting
final three?
MVP that scored a bunch, and then he also gave us 0 championships, 0 Eastern Conference Finals. Last year against the Knicks, refused to box out. That's really why they won the series.
That's absurd.
Go watch
Yeah.
the tape. He didn't box
Enforcer,
out. He didn't
enforcer.
box
That's
out.
ridiculous.
Back me up here because
Yeah,
he
that's
was
ridiculous.
playing. He was giving you
He had
35.
Bell's
He didn't score in the
palsy.
fourth quarter. He didn't score in the fourth
He
quarter.
was giving you 35 and 15 every game
Yeah.
on efficient scoring.
Didn't
It's
score
not
in the
his
fourth
fault
quarter,
that
didn't get
Maxey
rebounds.
disappears every other game.
Yeah,
Max
he did.
and
He
B
did.
didn't basically may as well not been out there in the
He
fourth
averaged
quarter. He didn't do
35
anything.
and 15.
Not in
I
the
don't.
fourth quarter.
Joel has a chip if Tatum didn't have a generational fourth quarter. He
Or
hit
if we
5.
score.
He hit
If we
4.
score. We
Yeah.
didn't
I
score.
mean,
Or
in the last 3
superstars, as
minutes.
pressure goes up, how they produce goes like this. Embiid, as pressure goes up, he goes like this.
That's not-
and shoots
that's-
down to the floor.
Jokic, Tatum didn't score until there was 3 minutes left in
Yeah,
the third
talk
quarter
about-
and then finished the game with
Because
24
that's
points.
superstars find a way. Embiid doesn't find a way. It's just how it works.
Tatum's not a top 5 player right now.
I'm taking right now.
Right now.
Give me Tatum over Embiid.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not saying that. There's 5 players better than Tatum.
The
right
Joel
yeah,
discourse
yeah, I
in the
agree.
league is just getting disgusting, though, because
is.
he's injured and the amount of disrespect that he's receiving.
It's
I think
not
people
warranted.
forget how good he was
Yeah,
at his
now.
peak.
They forget how elite.
I
No
mean,
one's arguing that.
no one was moving like Joel
No.
out of the post, the Kobe
He was
cross,
averaging
the shimmies.
40.
I mean, he was averaging 40 until He made the
Kuminga.
decision to jump on the
Until
ball, and
Kuminga-
Kuminga landed on his knee.
Purposely.
If that doesn't happen, who knows where the Sixers franchise could be?
Final question to close it out, kind of off topic here. I was having this conversation with Billy Rare, friend of the pod. Is Kobe Bryant a top 10 player of all time? Because for me, he's not.
What?
Kobe is
He's
not in
in my
my
top
top 10.
I mean,
You want to hear it?
Yeah,
Kobe's not in
because
my top 10.
I think there's a realistic way that you could say he's not, but I need to hear.
Here's
10
my
people
10.
vote.
there's no realistic
In no
way.
order. Here's my 10.
There's no realistic
Actually,
way at
I'll go
all.
in order because that's how I'm thinking of it. LeBron, Jordan, Kareem. There's no other three that has there's no other person that has a debate to be in that three. And
Okay,
I'll stand
okay.
by that.
The debate's the top 10, though. Get to the
Okay.
top 10.
Now in no order. Magic, Larry Bird, Tim Duncan, Shaq, Bill Russell, Wilt, and Steph Curry. Steph is better than Kobe all time. Stop it. Steph's better than Kobe all time.
Steph's
No,
better than
he's
Kobe
not.
all time,
No,
but
he's
Yes, he
not.
is.
it's just
Kobe
so,
has 5 rings.
Kobe,
He won 3 with.
I agree. Kobe has a debate to be in the top 10. But also,
If you're putting
Hakeem
No.
Hakeem
Did Hakeem ever win a chip? Kobe has 5.
Hakeem did.
I mean,
Hakeem
Two,
won a
I
chip.
think.
Like, let's see. I think I'm forgetting.
If Durant had more rings,
Yes,
he'd be sitting in the top 5.
I think Kobe, the fact that his last few years went as they did, tarnishes his legacy a bit because if you take those years out, he has a stretch of literally, I don't know, probably averaging 32 on,
Big O.
on good efficiency.
I think it's
There's a
impossible to put
genuine
Bill
debate.
Russell, like I know legend 11 rings, he actually played against plumbers and mailmen.
He did.
Therefore, he can't be in your top 10.
Give me the mailman.
If you,
Talking about mailman, the mailman clears Kobe.
I'm just looking at
So
Kobe.
Kobe's outside your top 12.
Kobe from
No, Kobe, here's the thing. On any given day, like whatever I'm thinking, if I really look into it, Kobe for me is from 8 to 12. He has no I personally do not think that he can have an argument with Jordan, LeBron, Kareem, Shaq, Tim Duncan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson.
Can I
He
just
cannot
let me
have
just
an
list
argument
let me
with
just
any of
list
them.
you Kobe from 2001 to
Yeah,
to
but dude,
2013.
which of those 7 guys I just named do you think Kobe all time is better than?
let me
He's not better than any of them.
let me just read you his stats.
I don't care what the stats say. No offense. Read me the stats.
28. So he averaged 28,
Mm-hmm.
6 and 5 assists on 45% from the field as a top 3 defender in the league.
Top 3, disagree.
Top 5. I mean, he's a perennial all defense guy. He's a 12-time all defense.
One of
He's
my-
a 15-time all NBA.
Ben Wallace was in the league. Ben Wallace is the greatest defender
Okay,
ever, and I'll
I mean-
stand on that.
How is that?
that-
when it's given, I disagree. I disagree completely.
Ben
He
knows
has
I love
5
Ben Wallace.
MVP.
Wilt
He has
is my best defender. of all
5 championships, 2 finals MVPs, 1 MVP. He should have 2. Like, that
Wilt would dominate today's.
I mean, the
agree.
fact that we're putting Bill Russell over a modern
I didn't
day.
put. Yes, Bill Russell, Wilt.
No, I think.
Bill Russell, Wilt,
Okay.
Shaq. No, Bill Russell, Wilt, Curry, all 3 can, and Kobe can fight for the last 3 spots.
I don't think Bill can fight.
No,
I think Bill
lost
gets
the
knocked
fight.
out.
All right, so
First round.
Kobe's my 10 then.
I like.
Kobe's my 10.
I think we have LeBron, Jordan,
Yes.
Kareem, and then from
Magic.
there, like sure,
Kobe cannot
sure,
be-
You can put Magic.
Kobe,
up there, sure.
Magic,
Magic's
Kobe,
career was cut short. He played 9 seasons.
Yeah, I think Magic's a little overrated. just 'cause
Magic
he
had a
he
phenomenal
Larry
career.
clears
Player.
Kobe. Larry clears Kobe. Tim Duncan clears Kobe.
Duncan is a better argument than.
And Shaq clears Kobe.
There's. I just feel like the Kobe disrespect there is outrageous.
I think he's somewhere between 6 and probably 10.
6 and 10.
Between 6 and 10,
But-
maybe 11.
Duncan, who I love Duncan. He's a perennial all NBA, all defense. So is Kobe. When you look, Duncan has like 15 or 16 all defense, all NBA. Kobe has 15 all NBA and 12 all defense.
Duncan's the greatest 4 ever.
But you also have to think about it
not
like this.
Kobe's second greatest.
Second best
shooting
shooting guard, and Harden's
Duncan-
probably 3. Oh, D Wade is 3. Harden's
Is AI a 2?
Duncan
Yes.
had to play.
So
Dun-
you have
or-
AI 4 or 5?
Yeah,
I think to
D-Wade.
for your point, Kobe didn't have to go against nearly the competition that Duncan had to go against.
I agree.
In my opinion,
They
Duncan
played
had
in
to
the
play.
same
No,
era.
they
No,
didn't.
he
'Cause
didn't.
Duncan had to play
Kobe
LeBron
yeah.
3 times.
Duncan played in the 2010s. Kobe was out of the league.
Duncan's
They
second
both-
prime
they-
was during
Yeah.
like during Kobe was averaging like 15.
Kobe,
20.
Kobe's first
But think
prime
about
was
who
from
did Kobe beat,
98 to 2005.
He beat Paul
and
Pierce.
then Kobe had a second prime as well. I
So
mean, the
during their
disrespect is
three-peat, who did they
absurd.
play?
They beat the Celtics, who were called the first super team ever. Now we look back
Who-
and say what you want. The
How many
Celtics
MVPs does Kobe have?
One.
So
Should have two.
Tim clears him. Stop.
From 99 to 01 or 02, they won every year, didn't they?
They had it. I'm pretty sure they had a three-peat.
From
Who
99
did they play?
to 99 to 03, Tim Duncan was in the top 3 of MVP voting every single year.
Can
It
I
was.
just say this is the last thing? Kobe went from the 2000-2001 season all the way until 2013, and all but 1 year he finished top 5 in MVP voting.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same thing for Duncan.
same thing with Duncan. That's what I said. We're splitting hairs. I mean, the legacy for both players, you can't really go wrong with either one.
One last remark. For all the haters out there that never believed in him, Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl champion,
The wrong
and the
time
best
to
quarterback
bring
in the
this up.
NFL.
Stop it.
If we had more time,
We good.
we would sound
Murder.
off on
We
that
would
take
murder.
because I hate that. He's the most overrated QB in the league. But thank you guys for tuning in. Maybe we'll have another episode out with the Enforcer by the end of the weekend, but I don't know. We still have to firm up some plans, but thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.